Well, moving on to the next kind of area of questions, just to be specific again. So your accusation of a hypocrisy, I mean, you welcome some of the steps that Germany has made recently, but your accusation of hypocrisy does apply to Germany as well as the wider West.
Well, at least before the final decision, at least calling for a cessation of atrocities or the attack on Gaza, specifically in Rafah, and calling for an increased humanitarian assistance. But even then, people are getting cynical. Yes, do increase, so we send some support. But then the bombings continue. Well, we'll issue a polite statement to say, no, stop these bombings. You mean to say the entire Europe and America cannot wield that influence that will stop the war? Nobody will believe it.
So what's your request to Germany? What should it do?
They have been more assertive lately, but I think they should, work within the EU and coordinate with the United States, other countries, to just insist, just stop the killing. People cannot accept it. I mean, generally, I don't know how people see it. I've also mixed around here. I went to I met community, met a lot of think tanks and scholars this morning. Because people, no right-minded person with any conscience for humanity would want this to continue.
Now let's move on to talk about Hamas. We've mentioned it already. You have said in recent days that you make no apologies for the fact that Malaysia and your government has relations with Hamas, even though it did murder more than 1,000 civilians in early October, on October the 7th. Can you just explain to people who might think, how could you have relations with a group like that conducts a terrorist atrocity like that? How could you maintain friendly relations with them?
I'll respond to that. Before that, I will ask this question, and this will be a response from leaders in Europe and the States. How do you continue to engage and respect and honor and give credit to Netanyahu and the government of Israel for the continued killing of 30,000 children, women and civilians?
Yeah, but we're asking you the questions today. We want to understand your views.
Yeah, I want to get the context right.
Yeah.
And not only that, for the decades. That's why I say that the thing is, polite word would be contradiction. The frank statement would be hypocrisy. You see? Now, why do I engage with Hamas? The political wing with Hamas, not the military wing. Because they were the legitimate representative, partly of the Palestinian people in Gaza. And
but if I may interject, that was an election held in 2006. Yes. That's almost 20 years ago.
Right? But till then, we have to deal with them. When we discuss with Myanmar, we discuss the military junta. Is that a question? Is that an issue? Is that a legitimate representation of the people of Myanmar?
Well, the Exile government would say no on the case of Myanmar. Yeah. But let's stay on Hamas.
So that's why I say these contradictions abound. What I mean is, okay, if you don't want to speak to Hamas, whom do you speak to? So given the limitations at present, when a country, an area is colonized and there is a daily basis, you talk about democratic elections. You don't talk about the killings. You don't talk about the dispossession. You don't talk about the land being taken. You don't talk about the children being killed. You don't talk about the schools being destroyed. And that's my contention. Now, and then of course, Hamas is a terrorist group. I ask you, Germany's colonized countries, the French or the Italians, all the freedom fighters resort to ways that you cannot defend under normal international rule. But it happened, yes. Mandela is a great hero.
Yeah, but Mandela didn't order the killing of 1,000 people.
Well, we better pick up your history. Because Mandela was part of the ANC, and part of the ANC were involved in some of these actions. But people accept that because the way they were treated, discriminated, killed, and dispossessed.
So if I could drill down on this, then are you suggesting that because of the way that Gaza has been treated, that the 7th of October is justifiable, maybe not, understandable? Explain more about where you're coming from.
But this is why I said this narrative here. This narrative is the mantra of 7th of October. To some people in the West, who are completely, I should say, oblivious to the facts and the realities, ignorant of history, or just amnesia. I mean, I'm talking about the 60 years of atrocity. For goodness sake, deal with it.
Yeah.
And we say, no, we don't care about the 60 years. We don't care about the thousands killed before. To us, what is important is the 7th October. I said that's to you, not to me.
Yeah.
To me, before October, 7th October, after October, are all relevant in this discourse. And we must deal with it in a comprehensive manner and settle.
Yeah.
For goodness sake, we talk about humanity. We talk about freedom of people, about the children. You mean only children, the white children of Israel is relevant, not the colored in Palestine? What is the issue? What is the basis that you can condone the action of killing of 30,000 plus, but you cannot condone another action? Do you ask me? I don't condone any killings of children, or women, or civilians.
And of course, nor do we. We're simply trying to peel open your opinion, yeah, so that our viewers can understand.
I understand.
I hope you understand that, Prime Minister.
I'm responding. I mean, I'm just responding to this.
And Deutsche Welle has done very extensive coverage of the full gamut of the conflict, including settlements and including the situation in Gaza. But I just want to, again, come back to understanding your view and the reason why you say it's legitimate to have good relations with Hamas. So as far as I understand, you are essentially saying that what happened on the 7th of October, the taking of hostages and those killings, is understandable in the context of this long conflict. Am I putting words in your mouth?
Not condoned.
Yeah.
But of course understandable, because people have been victimized and so long. So, but my response is this: the fact that and the other state killed 30,000 people is not relevant. You can still engage, you can still praise. But the other side, because I don't know whether because they are colored, because they are victimized, because they are seen to be different or the other, they cannot be condoned. But that's my point. Mm-hmm. So if you ask me for comprehensive solution, just stop this. Stop the killing either by the Palestinians against the Israelis, or the Israelis against the Palestinians. There is a comprehensive settlement. Yeah. But why then be very selective, as if the problem has never happened except after 7th October? This is absurd. It's an appalling display of total ignorance and attempt to erase historical facts.
I think the point you're making is similar to a point that Antonio Guterres himself said late last year, of course. So it's not that nobody from a Western background is saying such things.
Guterres did not actually represent Western view. He represents a more rational...
standing for the United Nations. But I just want to come back a little bit more to Hamas, because I'm interested in how you view the kind of role that they can potentially play. Because, of course, Hamas, it does say in the Hamas Charter that there is no solution for the Palestinian question except through jihad. It says that any initiatives, international conferences, proposals are a waste of time and vain endeavors. Doesn't that give you, isn't that a concern that Hamas is a group that will forever be radical and will never be in a place to try to find the kind of peaceful solution that you aspire to?
Do I agree with that position? No.